Howdy, y'all. I'm Mr. Holga.
And I'm Todd Puckett.
And this is Don's Used Photo Equipment.
Yeah.
Right here in front of
the Great Wall of Film.
The Great Wall of Film.
And I have a lot of people telling me that when they come in, too.
It is the Great Wall of Film.
Yeah, I just came in to look at your Great Wall of Film.
Yeah, I saw somebody who was in the shop just the other day that I stopped by, and she was like blown away. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like Baskin Robbins.
They had to stand there and take minutes to look, and then other people come up and I sell them because they've been here before.
Right, they know what they want.
And they buy stuff, and then the other person comes back, okay, I'll try this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the advantage of being here in person in a brick and mortar is you get to see that stuff. Online?
Right.
No. But speaking of online, did you hear what happened?
Oh yeah, so guys, first of all, we're gonna have to let you know this is a very bad news video. I mean, this is bad news on top of bad news. It's just bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news for film photography, for the photography.
Well, there was a movie. I think we could use that title, Bad News Bears.
The Bad News Bears. Yeah. I was thinking The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. But that's so overused. The Bad News Bears, it's got more.
Well, this is the Bad News Bears of videos right here.
Yeah, Bad News episode.
So guys, the bad news, which I'm thinking some of you have already read.
Yep.
DPReview is going under.
Well, yes. It's
closing the doors.
Closing the door.
No more reviews.
No more reviews. They will have a short time in which, between now and like a few months, they'll still be doing some things. Then they'll cut that off, and then for a little bit amount of time, they will have you can still visit the stories, but we're going to dump everything in the dumpster after that.
Right. So DPReview was Digital Photography Review. They started about 25 years ago. Yeah. They did get bought by Amazon.
They were taking the world over.
It was so popular. It was so popular that I never read anything they published because it was digital photography.
It was digital, absolutely.
Now, if it was, hey, we have an old camera review for you, I'd be there.
You know, I think that this may be a sign of the digital future.
Just kind of a nosedive?
Yeah, digital photography is a fad.
I think so. I think it's run its course, guys.
And speaking of Amazon, you want to know what I heard?
What?
You go down the street, turn right on Sylvan, and just before you get to go past Singleton, before you get to the railroad tracks,
all right,
Amazon is supposedly building a 40-story building there.
Really?
Yeah. So speaking of Amazon, they're dumping DPReview, but they're moving into the neighborhood.
Well, you posted an article on his Facebook page. You guys, if you're not already following his Facebook, please do. Yeah. That vinyl is outselling CDs for the first time ever.
Yeah, I thought I heard that years ago, but I think,
I think somebody actually put the math, the pencil to paper and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
and they said, yes, it is. And so, you know, it's what's old is new again. We, of course, a couple of videos talked about vintage digital photography, which, you know, the DP reviews, those are vintage, those could be vintage. If you go back far enough, they'll be vintage reviews.
But it's vintage digital cameras.
Digital cameras.
Which, you know, like a lot of people are that age when it started that are shooting film now.
So 25 years. They started, what, 98, I'm guessing?
Ish.
So I just think the niche news thing like digital reviews is just, I think that has run its course.
It has. So. It has. I think all of digital photography's about to change. It's run its course.
That's it, guys. You need to get on with film.
Photography is on the rise.
It's not only the future, but it's the past as well.
It is. Yeah.
But you know what? I can't help but thinking that's really not that bad of news.
No, let's just say this. It's not the worst bad of the news.
It's not the worst news.
There's worse
that we actually have for
news.
you. We have worse bad news.
Whereas, you know, whenever I said like Amazon's moving, supposedly. This is what I've been told by people who supposedly know.
Maybe.
It's in the newspapers. Who reads newspapers?
Newspapers, no.
Newspapers, no. But, you know,
who prints newspapers?
With like Amazon supposedly building a 40-story building over off of Sylvan.
Mm-hmm.
The property
not very far from here, guys.
Not very far. We'll be able to sit on the back porch and see it easily.
Right.
And but it's a sign that all of the property in this area is just insane.
Yes, Dallas, Fort Worth, and because Mrs. Holga and I were actually looking for a new house ourselves.
Don't want your house HOA to know.
If they watch our videos, we're looking, but I was concerned that the housing market was going to start going down.
No, not
but
in
apparently
Dallas.
not Dallas, Fort Worth. The housing market is either going to stay the way it is, or it's going to continue to go up. And it's like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
For a lot of things, that's not good news, because whenever you're looking to have to move, then it makes it a lot tougher.
It does.
And I actually know of a company that's going to have to be moving pretty soon.
A company that has to be moving.
Near and dear to the analog community.
Okay, film photography community.
The filmtographers.
The filmtographers, as we know it, are going to be saddened by this move?
Saddened by this move.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it depends on where the move goes to.
That is true.
Yeah. So it depends on where the move goes to. But Don's Used Photo Equipment, the owner of the building, has told me that he sold the building.
Right. So the building that we're in
has been sold.
Sold.
Yeah, it's been sold. But that is not... No, it is bad news.
It is bad news. Oh, it's bad news because everybody's very comfortable coming here. They know where you're at. My car knows where home is and where Don's is.
Yes.
It's back and forth. It just knows.
And it almost knows where your work is because
sometimes
you go here more than there now.
Yes, I go into the office far fewer times than I actually come here.
The little bit of good news is that I've got a 10-month lease left. Oh, I had a year lease, and out of that year, I've got 10 months left.
Right.
So I've got till the end of January 2024. January 31st.
Okay.
That I have with my current lease. Now, because the property rates are going up so much.
Oh, yes, they are.
Around here. Anybody that's buying property in here for the amount that they had to pay to get it cannot keep rent at the same pace.
Not at all. Now, you guys, you have to realize the street... Industrial Boulevard, or is it Irving Boulevard?
Irving Boulevard.
Yeah. Irving Boulevard is one of the most popular streets in Dallas as far as an industrial area and shops.
As far as like investors coming in to buy and hold on to it for selling to big developers. Yeah. And it's only been in the past 5 years or so that it really has started exploding, and especially so in the past few years. But the thing of it is that what you see here in this store is actually about 2,500 square feet. Most of it is wound up being storage.
Yes, I would. Looking around the shop, it's 99% of it's some sort of storage
unit, and honestly, there is what it's called. One of the few things I actually learned in college, go Mustangs.
Yeah, pony up.
80-20 rule.
Yes.
20% of what's in this space is what makes 80% of the income. Right. Well, it's kind of it's such a popular rule. That's what it's called, the 80-20 rule.
Everybody loves saying it.
Yeah, everybody does. And it's true. Just what's in this immediate area here is pretty much what makes everything. I don't sell a lot of tripods. I do, but that's not the big thing. I don't sell tons of light stands, but I sell a ton of film. I sell a lot of chemistry, a lot of paper, and whenever I can get it, I can actually sell a lot of cameras. Yeah. That's the bulk.
So it's mostly the stuff that's on that wall over there, which is the darkroom chemicals,
back
and
here,
it's the film that's behind us.
And here.
That and what's potentially within arm's reach of this counter.
Everywhere
else essentially is storage.
Like I've got 1,000 slide trays, and you really don't see them because I only have a few up, and the rest are up in an attic. And I got boxes and boxes of slide trays. There's a lot of stuff I have, just boxes and boxes. I got tons of bags. Right. Which I do sell a lot.
He has lots of things that take up airspace.
Now, the other thing about this is that this much space, what I sell, I only have 8 parking spots out front.
Oh, yes.
8. The only reason I have 8 parking spots is because I rented the space next door, which I live in.
Okay.
So when you walk up and there's 2 doors, the one on the right's where I work, the one on the left's where I live.
You have a short commute.
I have an extremely short commute. Which when I can't sleep at night, like at 3 in the morning, you'll see me walking across over to here and doing some work. But if you're driving down the street, you'll catch a glimpse of me back and forth.
I saw a ghost go from building to building. It was past midnight.
It was. So I got that, So I actually have 2,500 square feet on the other side. Now, I really, every now and then I'll start.
That must be a 2,500 luxurious apartment you have over there.
No, it's packed worse than this.
It's storage too.
It's storage too.
It stores Todd.
Yeah, me and a bunch of other stuff. Now, we'll talk about that part later, but the thing of it is, that means I've got 5,000 square feet and 8 parking spots.
Yes. Which is good for your customers, the parking spots.
No, it sucks because there's not that much out there.
Sometimes that parking is full.
It is a lot of times that parking, it gets very full and people have to kind of park along. And then whenever your neighbors park up, well, not your neighbors, but whenever customers for the other places park over here, it really hurts. And
it does.
It stifles the potential sales that I can do here.
Right.
And so it really kind of stifles. So it's been working out very well because the previous owner, who's just sold it, has been very lenient with it. And, he's had it a long time. So
yeah,
I was able to we moved in here, I think, in 1998.
Okay.
And the rent was not that bad at all. And
just as long as DPReview.
Yeah, I know. We've been here as long as DPReview. And strangely enough, we're both...
They never once reviewed this place.
They never did. I don't know why. But the thing of it is that during that time, I actually took over the next space, which was actually used by a photographer. And then when he moved, I got it.
Just take it.
And the only reason I got it is because I needed the parking out front. Can you imagine just 4 spots out there for my parking?
Very, very tough.
Very tough.
Yeah.
And so I got the space next door just so I can get the parking out front. Well, as you can imagine, the rent has gone up.
It has gone up. You and I had a conversation, but we're not going to say how much the rent's gone up, but it did go up significantly to the point where it's like, ouch. That hurts. Yeah. And you're anticipating that after this lease is up because of new owners, it's going to be another ouch.
Another big ouch. And I don't need 5,000 square feet of space.
No.
I really don't. I would love to have it if I could have it back at the original rent. But what I really need, and this is where our customers can kind of come in and help, give us suggestions. Or if anybody wants an internationally known
Internationally?
Analog, we are internationally known. Because people watch us all over the world whenever they want the Holga results for the competition.
That is true.
Yes. So we were known internationally. And I have had tons of people from New Zealand and Australia.
You have.
And other countries come in and buy stuff.
Somebody from Oklahoma just the other day.
Yeah, a whole nother country.
Yeah, it's a different country.
In its own. So we are going to have to move by the end of January 31st. And that means we're going to have some fun with this, I hope.
Yeah, so let's be clear before we get into the fun part here. It's not a going out of business sale at all. No. He's not going out of business.
I am not.
It's not a fire sale.
It is not.
But, there might be a sidewalk sale somewhere.
There'll be a couple of, hopefully, a couple of
good sidewalk sales.
And anything that's not the major bulk of, I'm not going to discount film people.
No, can't
do that. No. But whenever I sell off tripods and whenever I sell off light stands and whenever I sell off a bunch of stuff in the back, and got a lot of stuff here.
Right.
I've got a bunch of backgrounds. When I sell those things off, that money's going to go back into film. Right. I'm not going to use it to buy other stuff like it.
Well, I understand it's easier to move money from one building to another than it is to move stuff.
Yeah, it's just stuff. So a lot of that stuff is, and that's why I've actually been putting things out. But last year, before any of this happened,
okay,
I talked to you and I said, I want to clear this space out.
Of course, you didn't really tell me why at the time.
Well, I didn't really know, because...
But you had a feeling. Your spidey sense was tingling, yeah.
Bingo.
I know him too well.
My shutterbug
I know him too well.
Senses were tingling. So I really did want to clear a lot of this space out because I really wanted to, if I stayed, I wanted to do shooting and stuff in the back again. But it turns out that, hey, maybe I need to be moving stuff out because maybe I need to be moving.
Well, yes, but you know what? A move really is a great way to clean some things out. Now, if you've ever been in this place, you're going to see how full it is. And as a matter of fact, in just a moment, we're going to show you how full this place is.
We're going to give you the first ever
tour. We're going to give you a tour. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to give you a tour.
We're going to give you a tour, and we're going to look into some of the spaces that people really haven't looked in before. We're going to kind of show you the full front door to back door type thing.
Yeah, we're going to give you the full tour of the place here in just a moment. But so once again, yes, it's bad news because this location is no bueno, as I like to say.
It's not good.
But ultimately, I think it's going to be good news because it's going to be a new location.
If I can find a new place about 2,000 square feet, 2,500. If I can find a place about 2,500 that I can live in, that would be awesome. Because I love living next door. That's gonna be the thing I miss the most about this.
That's between you and your landlord.
Yeah, I know. But if anybody knows a place out there with about 2,500 square feet that you can live in.
Yeah, he needs one of those with an apartment above the shop.
Yeah. I miss that. I love watching those old cowboy westerns. Where the guy who owns the
he needs a saloon, guys. He wants a saloon. He just
a photographer saloon.
One room upstairs, the rest of it downstairs.
Yeah, that's what I really want. And but
with a little chain across the stairs that says private.
In those funky letters.
The curly
I love that. And it's a little private. Trespassers will be shot. But so it's going to be a lot of it's going to be very interesting. And what I would like to do, and what I'm hoping to do, is that we're going to kind of record this, the transition over time,
the progress.
So I want to get a video of the space and what's all here now and all how packed up it is, and in a few months, hopefully, do another little run through and just see if I'm able to change, because there's a lot to change.
There's a lot to change. I mean, there's if there's a lot to move. So so a new spot will be coming. A new location will be coming, and the less that has to be moved, the better.
Yeah. So, and also the less that has to be moved, that means I don't have to get as big a space.
Now, does this mean you're not going to be buying cameras in the next months?
No, I'll be buying
See,
film.
I have to ask, guys.
I'll be buying cameras. I will be buying paper whenever the students start again.
Right.
In September. Yes, the paper and the will be stocked. That will be stocked. And the chemistry will be stocked, and the archives, all those little things like that will be stocked.
All the standard supplies will be stocked.
For students, yes. And so I will, it's the other stuff that I'll need to be moving. And as it gets closer, maybe
if somebody says, well, I've got all these enlargers I don't need anymore, it's you might have to keep those.
That for now.
For now.
You might have to keep those. Yeah, whenever somebody comes in and says, we're closing our studio, do you need all this light? I mean, I want to sell you all this light.
It's going to be painful.
No.
It's going to be painful because Todd loves taking.
Well, that's how all this stuff filled up.
Yes, that's how it filled up.
See, this is interesting. I mean, because since we've moved over here, we've survived the change to digital.
Right. Thanks to DPReview.
Yeah, thank you. And we survived 9/11. We survived the other thing that we don't talk about.
The thing that we don't discuss.
We've never discussed it, and we won't.
We survived my strep throat.
Oh, that was
horrible.
That was the worst thing.
And I had the surgery. Yeah. We survived that one too. You guys didn't even notice, huh?
Yeah. Well, he survived it.
I survived it.
I forgot it. I was like, what are you talking about?
Wow, I had that little surgery.
That little thing, yeah. But we've survived a lot during this time, and this was like whenever I first took the spot over next door, that was clear in the back, and we would have shooting. We would go back there and do classes.
I've seen how full it is, guys.
Yeah, and but we would have set up 2 or 3 spots, and we would give strobe photography classes. And so we used to do things like that, and then there was a certain time frame around 2005.
Right.
When we moved here, this was the photo district of Dallas.
Yes.
This was known as, and I didn't know this, which I should have, but this was the photo district. There were Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
if you're a photographer, this is where you came. Yeah, not only was this the photo district, but there's also an arts district around here.
It's south.
There's a bunch of antique stores around here as well. I mean, we're just at that section of Dallas where it's a bunch of warehouses, and they're kind of trendy to go shopping and hanging around things like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, what happened down south of us, the design district, was whenever the World Trade Center over off of Stemmons closed down.
Oh, okay.
Everybody in there were abandoning. The prices went up way too high.
Yeah.
They all came over here and moved down there, and that's why the design district values went nuts, because they were running from high rent. But there's a lot going on. So, but whenever 2005-ish started hitting and everybody started going digital, studios around here, there were 500 studios within a 2-mile radius.
Ooh, wow.
There were 2 other camera stores. There were 2 other camera stores, and then a third one came down. And then there were like 5 or 7 photo labs just within spitting distance of here.
Right.
So there was a ton of stuff here. I mean, stores, photo labs, photographer studios. But whenever they started closing down, I went and bought a bunch of stuff. And that's where a lot of that stuff next door came from. Or from the things that other places were closing down.
Right.
And then a lot of people were getting rid of their personal camera stuff.
Right. Their home dark rooms.
Their homes, home dark rooms. I had like 30 D2s, those old
the
enlargers. D2 enlargers, and wound up throwing them away. I mean,
which is a shame, but what were you going to do with them? They're not worth very much.
They really weren't. Which I didn't pay much for. I mean, a lot of times people just said, "Here, take it."
Yes, I've been here where the people are like, I don't want to throw it away, but yet.
Yeah, I've had a lot of that.
Yeah.
And but anyway, so a lot of the studios were closing down. A lot of photographers were switching from film to digital.
Right.
And a lot of the people that used to come to our camera shows and get tables.
Oh yeah, the camera shows in Grapevine.
Yeah, they'd passed away, and so I was picking up collections from there. A lot of stuff was being collected up. And during that time, I said, you know what? I'm going to treat this like a bear who fattens up before winter. And
I like that.
Did, and I did fatten up, and I am glad I did, because now I've got like 35 Canon AE1s. 35. Whenever I started going through this stuff, I ran across 35 Canon AE1s. And they go, well, why aren't they out? I'm sending them off to Aubie CL8. I mean,
you want a camera that works.
Yes.
Definitely so.
And
he wants to sell cameras that work.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send all of those things off, not all at one time because I can't afford it, but groups of them will go out and come back. Right now I've got a group of 5 stuffs that's being worked on. It should be in next month.
Okay.
I'm hoping. So we've got a lot of stuff. I mean, I ran across a lot of stuff. And in so doing, this is the stuff that I am going to hopefully get cleaned up, brought over, and if not, will definitely be at the new location, more prominent.
All right, guys. Well, that's a great part for us to stop right here. So we're going to give you a tour
of this side,
of what you currently see, because over the next 10 months, it is going to change drastically. We're going to start at the front door. We're going to go all the way to the back. And as a matter of fact, as anybody who's ever been here knows, there might not be a room for both of us in the frame. So it might just be Todd, okay? Which this could be the best video ever if I'm not in it. If it's just him, this might be the top rated.
Yes.
We're going to see a spike in the graph as soon as I step out of the screen.
That's happened before.
All right, guys.
When I talk, it goes up.
So we'll meet you at the front door.
Yes. Take care.
So here we are in the front of the store.
Don's used photo equipment.
Got the sign. We got parking spaces.
What little we have of parking spaces we got.
Right.
And we've got this thing's been here for over 20 years. So. Well, okay, this is Don's used photo equipment. Now this is my commute to work.
That's not very far.
I come out of the door, I walk over, I go in the door. That's my commute to work.
That's not very far.
Not at all. But this is, I don't need this much space.
All right, so there are 2 things that are always important to Don's, okay?
Yes.
Number 1, obviously, is the Great Wall of Film. And number 2 is this sign, which has seen, if you notice, has seen a lot of sunlight, a lot of age.
A lot of it, and I love it. It's like I want to make a new sign for the new store. And I kind of want to keep this motif.
Yeah, I think it needs to be sun bleached, crackled, and all that kind of good stuff. It just needs to look old.
Awesome. It really is. It's fun. And that would be a hopeful thing. Right. When the person first walks in through the door, what do they see?
The pile of
bags. This is the $20 pile of bags. Now, everything that's over here is not $20. It's just the pile of bags. So this is the first thing people see. And as you probably can tell, the stack's getting high. And
it goes up, it goes down.
Well, it's just going up right now because I am going through a lot of these bags, taking the things out. So this is how I found a lot of the cameras. And I'm going through them, getting them ready to go off to get CLA'd and cleaned. And
not the bags, the cameras.
The cameras, not the bags. Yeah, exactly. So this is the first thing people see. And then right back here is the area where my father stays behind. This is his little cage that he stays in and does his cleaning.
You know, you could walk by Don and not even know he was there.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do. But when they come in and I say, hey, how are you? And they say, hi, Dad goes, hi.
Every time.
Yeah, he likes to talk to people. That's his only chance to talk. So this is the opening up. Now, when you first come in and you look to this side, which we're going to show you in just a second, this is the side that I've actually been working on, and prior to this, there were stacks up to about this high, back against the wall.
Right. Well, we can see the darkroom timers and the slides and all that kind of good stuff over there.
Well, the pile of stuff used to be about up to here, from about here to the back and up to there, over here. And when you come in, and we'll do a little pan over here to see, but this is the opening. Now, what I do is I put stuff up here that's big, and people just, you know, if they grab it and run off, it's not the expensive stuff. And it's the hard stuff to kind of grab and run off with. Mm-hmm. Because people do steal stuff. But
what?
I know. Not my customers.
I've never heard of that.
Not my customers. But we got a lot of the big stuff up here. I used to have C-stands up here. So I don't know. I may get some later. We don't know. We'll see. But this is the entrance. So come on in a little bit more. So when you first walk in, on your right is a bunch of canvas backgrounds. Now, a lot of these things are actually coming back in style, and I have been fortunate to get a bunch of them in at the moment.
I mean, so, it looked like they came from like Sears photography studio.
Some kind of ish did, but not actually Sears. But they're fun because some of them are old.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading, I see Christmas, I see forest scenes.
No, but I mean, like the canvases are probably from the 80s.
Okay, yeah, they're old.
There are some holidays seasons in here, and there are I think some sports, some books, things for graduation here. So whenever you're ready to do your May high school graduations or graduations, if you want the bookcases, I've got some of them over here that are perfect for it. And this is the area which I've actually been working on a lot, and over the next few weeks, there will be a lot of stuff moving out of here. So over here is where my dad spends his time and works, and he does a lot of cleaning over here. He's got his little shelf that he puts things in. Over here, I have just a smorgasbord of stuff. And Novatron kit, which are actually really good. Great things to use for beginning with film. But if you use it with digital, it could just burn out the motherboard.
Oh, yeah.
So don't do that. Now, over in here is the garage door. We'll take a peek inside, just kind of see. And but that's filled too. And things will start coming out of this thing pretty soon. Whenever space comes out of here, opens up here, people will come in and say, but you haven't changed much. Well, it's because I've actually got other stuff from other areas and I'm bringing it out. So that will actually, as this clears out, that'll actually start having things come out of it. And this is the narrow part down here as we walk back. I've got a lot of it covered up because these are the things that I won't be buying anymore, but I will be clearing out. And we'll see what happens with it.
Right, so you guys will notice the single file line back and forth. I mean, essentially, this is the pathway customers can get to the Great Wall of Film.
To the Great Wall of Film.
Which will be there in a minute.
Yeah, and this is kind of fun. I mean, this is the part of the store, again, that's kind of wasteful, and I don't really need
as much space.
All right, and on the left, I've got like a lot of huge, way above normal backgrounds. And then I've got a stack of triggers for the old things that I used to do whenever I made kits. my own kits and put them together. And then as you slowly go off to the right, as you swing to the right a little bit more,
I'm going.
You will see a lot of other stuff that's sort of been piled up. Some of it actually does have a value. It's just that there's so much of it, I only need a few things out. But this thing is, these are things that will actually be coming out later. Here is where I sit and do my work on the computer.
The office.
The office. Not the Dunder Mifflin office, but my office.
Still haven't seen that show.
I know. I've seen some of it. Now over here, everybody goes, wow, how much is that? How much is that? No, a lot of these things that are over here have issues, which is why they're over here. But this is things that have been stacked up, I've looked at, I've tinkered with and checked with, and I said, okay, we'll put it up here on this shelf, we'll deal with it later. And the same thing is behind me. You will see a lot of stuff. And there's actually are some good things up there, which I've kind of wanted to go play with myself, but a lot of these things will start coming out. And over in this area, again, these are just things that have stocked up and piled up that I kind of know some of the things that should be in here.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to finding them again.
Oh, yeah.
And this is my office space. And whenever I sit there and watch the videos and make my comments about it, this is where I do it from. Now, not many people have seen this room. This room is right next to the office. It's sort of the second door on your right. This is a room where I just kind of bought stuff and stuffed in here. And over here on this side, I actually have darkroom stuff, cameras. Again, a lot of them will have a little bitty issues with it. Over here are things that just I bought, stacked up, and I've actually gone through and started pulling things out of here. But I also have fun things here, in here. This is one of the things I have in a room like this.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is.
It looks like a child's apron.
Kodak, do it. Film and paper. They don't make paper anymore, so this is something that you would consider a collectible.
A collectible.
But this is just another room filled with stuff that will need to be gone through. And over here, a lot of people have walked past these not knowing what they are. This door over here.
I know what they are.
Yeah, this is the darkroom / employee bathroom.
Yeah, that's where I do the wet plates in.
That's where he does the wet plates from. And over there is what we call our customer bathroom.
Or the ladies' room.
The ladies' room. And then here is the heater, but also there are actually boxes of stuff in here too.
What?
Yes, I know. Hard to believe.
There's more stuff in there?
There's more stuff in there. That is not related to the heater. So this has gotten stacked up to block it off, but believe it or not, once it becomes unstacked, I'll be pulling things out of there too. And this really is kind of where the store actually begins. Over here we have the nicer bags inside the shelves, bags on the floor. Over here we have an island of things for sale. And one of the things that will be happening is things that I do not plan to buy again, like Benro tripods. They will now be on sale for 60% off. So
they are on sale, but it's, once again, not a fire sale. They're just on sale.
These are things I don't plan to be buying again. I don't plan to be buying Benro. So I'm going to take all the money I make from this, put it into film.
Ooh.
So that's an incentive for you to buy this. And now over on this side, this is where we have a lot of things which have been rented for props. And if I listed everything that we've rented props for, I feel like that character in Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
We've rented for fashion shoots. We've rented for, I actually had some of these things that were in a Haverty's commercial that was shown in a Super Bowl. Every place that has a stage play, I have rented things to them for the stage plays. And that's an entire DFW area. The Majestic downtown, the Bass Hall, I believe I've rented some things for something that happened, an event that took place at Bass Hall. For the the State Fair Hall, I've rented a camera on a tripod for the Newsies episode. Play that was there. No, that was Majestic. But for Superman for a place, I've just rented to a lot of places. I think even the Firehouse Playhouse, the Pocket Sandwich Theater.
Now you're just name dropping.
I'm sorry. Now I got into that Forrest Gump character mode. But a lot of this stuff is what I rented out for that. So yes, I will maybe selling some of this stuff, but it's sort of my props. We'll see what happens over here, but really that's kind of what this stuff is here for. Over here is what we see as we make our videos. This is what we're looking at.
Every time.
Every time. And it has the chemistry, the color photography, C41, slide chemistry, Ilford, Kodak. It has even Tetanol tablets. These shelves down here are all paper for the darkroom, not inkjet. Over here is chemistry, tanks, things for the darkroom. Now this is stuff which of course will, whenever we move, this is what we'll be taking, and it's not going to be fire selled at all. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, that's part of that's part of the 20%.
That's part of the 20%. And over here are the archive sheets. So this is where a lot of students spend a lot of time in whenever classes start, and whenever they get near the end for their finals. Fiber paper over here on this side.
Fiber
and it's
paper.
messy, more messy than normal because we are actually. Whoops.
Who left their phone on?
Me. Yeah, that's all right. Sorry about that. But a lot of stuff is over here because I moved stuff from over there to here so we can do our videos.
Are you open today? It's
No.
Sunday.
It's Sunday. No. Oops. But yeah, this is a bulk of where between here and there. This is where 80% of the business takes place. And
Now we're not done with the tour.
No.
But we wanted you guys to see this is how you would see us normally. So we would say the customers are always standing right here.
Yep.
Here's the Great Wall of Film. What else we got back here?
Oh well, more junk.
But you can see the counter
Yeah, the
is
counter.
loaded up.
This is we move things out from the front of the counter. We put the lights up, and this is what the Great Wall of Film set looks like. From
It's not a set. It's actually real.
It's real. Yeah, that's true. It is
But
real.
it's not green screen.
But it's not green screen. That's for sure. But this is
wood.
This is where the magic happens. Right
Yes,
here, right
the
here.
magic.
The magic. And this is where 5,000 hours of video have been watched.
That's true. From
here.
right here. A slightly different angle from the Great Wall of Film, but we wanted you guys to see more stuff back
And
here.
this is stuff that we've already gone through and pulled out a lot of things and sold from. But yeah, this has actually already been cleaned up or gone through once, and it of course will be gone through many, many more times.
Yeah, it's been gone through. It was
behind the scenes.
reboxed. It's where you found the RBs.
The RBs, which I've
RBs,
sold 2 of
found
them. I
those.
still have 1 left.
I think you found a Hasselblad back there, possibly a Leica. So a lot of stuff was already found just in this one little area.
Yes, it is. It has been. This area has not been seen by customers for probably a year, maybe even over a year.
Really?
Over here on this side, I've got lots of junk. Now against the wall, I've still got a few leftover brand new bags. I've got some Kupo stuff, which has been up there for years, and used tripods, which I have actually sold probably a third of those things already over the time. Light stands up top, the famous film cases.
Oh, the Kodak film cases, those are not junk.
That's not junk. Those are awesome. I just ordered them.
Oh, wait, I don't know. You still sell them like hotcakes.
I do. And I have been able to clean this up a lot just in the past 3 months because I've sold so many over the holidays, and then recently. There are just several times a year in which these things become very popular. And it's amazing how many customers I say, hey, don't forget the film cases. They said, we've already bought one from you. This area has been blocked off for a long time, and it's only about a month and a half ago that I've actually opened it up to where I can walk back here.
You have an aisle.
I have a very small aisle, and I have a bunch of the olds. This is the old bag section. What's
Really
up
old
front,
bags.
Yeah, well, even the ones up front are old, but the $20 pile is relatively new. This is the old camera bag place, the area. And I had it blocked off after we did one of our sidewalk sales.
Yeah.
So that's how long ago this has kind of been blocked off. But I've gone through all the things that were there, pulled a lot of things out, sold them. Then Now I've got access to this, and that's another reason why the bags up front are pals taller. It's because I got a lot of bags out of here. And this section back here was closed off probably last decade.
that long ago.
That long ago. And the stuff that's here now, this is stuff that I originally took from behind the counter, brought it over here and stacked it up so I could have space behind the counter. And this is the the first wave of stuff behind the counter.
Mind you guys, he is not a hoarder.
No. Actually, I've had, I think, a customer or two say that they thought that they might hear a story about a man in a store that died from stuff falling over on him.
Yeah, that's going to be the store.
That's going to be the store, yeah. But this stuff back here, I have actually gone through a little bit, but this is the stuff that will be fun. And this is part up here of the 1,000 slide trays that I told you about.
Yes.
And
slide trays.
Slide
Carousel slide
trays.
Yummy, yummy. Kodak branded.
Yeah, so this stuff, whenever I get to the point where we take down this crossbar section here for the background,
yep,
that will be a momentous day indeed, because that means that I have done a lot of cleaning up. But also, again, a lot of this stuff will start coming out and start being added to for sale pile.
There's going to be a lot of stuff to buy.
Yes. This is the final stop on the journey. This is where my dad sits and does sewing.
Oh, that's the singer he fixed, huh?
Well, he still can't get it quite working right, but
I'm using the term fixed loosely.
It works, but not well enough. But my dad used to sit back here when we first moved over here into this spot. My dad would sit back here and we would create our own reflectors. He would go out and buy the materials. He would buy the cloth at Joann's Fabrics. He would buy the spring steel at an industrial place. And then he would create reflectors and sew them in.
Easy.
Ah, for him it was. And we sold hundreds and hundreds of reflectors like that. And after a while, reflectors became so cheap online because they were coming in from overseas by the boatloads, that he couldn't really make them.
You can't keep up.
He couldn't compete with the pricing on that. So he stopped doing that, but he still does sewing of a bunch of other different stuff. But he would sit back here and do sewing, and that's the back door to the original Trinity River is actually like 20 yards from that door. And then they moved it, and they left this little creek running as an overflow.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
Yeah. Well, one time it got up to the building. The water got right up to the edge of the building. But just that was one time. So a lot of this stuff in here is just my dad's stuff that he's kind of put in places. And this is the back side of the Kodak carousels section. And this is the back of the building that very, very few people actually see. So I figure since what the heck in 10 months from now we'll be somewhere else, I wanted to give you the full tour of Don's Used Photo Equipment store.
So what did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you enjoy the tour?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to see places that really very few people have seen in a long, long time.
Well, I mean, if you're here in person, you do get to go back and forth through the trail of stuff. You see how much stuff is here. You really have to come into the store and appreciate how much stuff is in really a little space.
It's 2,500 square feet, but there's office, garage. That probably cuts it down to about 2,000 square feet. So it's not as big as it seems. But listen, we want to thank everybody for going on this tour with us.
Thank you.
We want to thank everybody for watching the videos for us. Now, this is not the end of Don's Used Photo Equipment, but this is just the next phase of Don's Used Photo Equipment. So I want to thank Mr. Holga for all of his time of doing the work on the videos, because honestly, that's what's helped really turn Don's Used Photo Equipment into an international. Yeah, I mean, before we were international, but just very small scale by comparison.
Very few people knew.
No, a lot of people did, because we actually had a lot of people who followed us on Facebook from overseas. But now a lot more people follow us.
It's good.
It's grown quite a bit. And we thank you for this opportunity for us, the fun that we've had in this building, and all of the 10 months that we have ahead. We hope you are with us in that journey, and then eventually to the new location.
Right. So you guys are going to be part of this. You're going to see things change. You're going to know when it happens. Please keep watching and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for this one.
For this one, yes. I know we've probably spent a long time. Sorry about that.
But this is only part one of a part two.
Part two.
Because there's more warehouse to look. That'll be a future video.
And we will talk about that later. But yes, that's true.
It's true. So guys,
thanks for tagging along with us.
Please do share, like, subscribe.
Yeah, tell everybody.
Tell a couple of friends.
Yeah, we want everyone to know that when we move, that this is a long time in planning. It's not something that suddenly happened.
Right. It's not. You're not going to show up one day and see a sign on the door and it's like, where did they go? You're going to know. You're going to know where we went.
You're going to know where we went. You're going to be one of the first to see it.
Hopefully, you're coming along with us.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for joining us. And while we have the next 10 months, whenever you drop by, come on in.
All right. Later, y'all.
Take care. Thanks. I think that's a good ending.
All right.
All right. Thank you kindly, sir.
It just leaves me hanging there with a fist bump. I like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see with honestly, I cannot see without my glasses. So much has happened since the last time we met.
I didn't get sick this time.
Yes. See, that's a good thing.
It is. That's a very good thing.
How are we going to stand here?
Like we would like we're normally sitting.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you're going to be in the.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.